of the servers. So instead of viewing the last hour, you can look at like the last 24 hours, um,
Last 5
or
minutes. Or a
the
day.
last previous month, for example, which can show, like most of the servers seem fine. Awakening's fluctuating, but that's Awakening, and then Enigmatic 2 Skyblock has obviously been having some big issues, which is no surprise. And so another thing is there's a bunch of stuff which you guys probably won't need to look at, which is network statistic, disk I/O, blocks performance, etc., which is basically what it is. Network statistics is the network statistics. Basically, the first adapter is the one that Minecraft uses, and the second adapter is the one that is used for doing archives, and that generally that basically kind of lets you see when archives are being done. It defaults to the last 3 hours, but you kind of have to zoom in to see actual archives being run. And by zoom in, I mean like just decrease the time frame that you're looking at to see like traffic. Because once you zoom out, you miss a bit of it.
Excuse you.
No, you.
One other super useful page is Max Players, which is probably the most useful. Um, this will let you see basically the activity and TPS and world gen for all of the servers. So this lets you basically go, okay, so this is when players are online, this is who is playing on this server, this is how many people are playing on this server, this is how the TPS responds when people are on the server, etc. And it lets you basically, for admins, it's what we use as an indication of whether we should be looking at refreshing a server or taking it down and replacing it with another pack. Like for example, Continuum has at peak 2 people on it right now, so we'll probably do an announcement sometime and be like, hey, we're going to replace Continuum with possibly all the mods 3 or something like that. Looks like one of these has been broken. Right, yeah. And so that's a really useful page that could be used. The only other big thing, if you go to E2E Sky's page itself, if you move your mouse over any of the graphs, they sync up where the other ones are because they're not all aligned. So if you want to say like, oh, the TPS is low at the specific point, I wonder what caused that, then you can look at the other graphs and see, oh, a bunch of players joined then, or something like that.
Does every server have its own Grafana page?
Yes.
Okay.
If you go to the menu in the top left and open the servers folder, you can see them.
It's also on the homepage.
Yeah.
Or at the
Menu bar at the top.
Yep. Oh, and you can change the refresh down to 2 seconds, but there's no point in setting it lower because the Prometheus data only gets refreshed every 2 seconds for servers. And by default, most of the specific pages are set to 2-second refreshes. Most of the time, just looking at the main page and seeing a server's having TPS issues is enough to say, okay, yeah, I should probably hop on and check it out. But sometimes, and by sometimes I mean pretty fucking rarely, like in, for example, Awakening's case, when Silver originally set up that server, I had a max RAM of 6 gigs and a min RAM of 2 gigs, which was way not enough. And when a server starts running out of memory, if you look at the garbage collection and the memory usage, you'll see something kind of interesting on the page specific. I suggest going to Awakening to look at this information. Oh, and server TPS is kind of broken on the pages specific to a server. So the like big TPS thing at the top. So just go off the graphs. But you'll notice that memory usage isn't actually static. It goes up to like 8 gigs and then drops down in like kind of like a saw look, if you see what I mean. You guys see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's because of garbage collection. So basically what happens is Minecraft, you allocate it like a maximum amount of memory, and then what it will do is it'll use up to that memory, basically, in like, objects or whatever. And then once it hits about 80% to 70% of that memory usage, it'll run garbage collection, which takes a bit of CPU time and drops the memory usage back down. And it just repeats this. And that's where the whole kind of garbage collection argument comes in with, oh, you shouldn't allocate too much memory to Minecraft. Because basically, if you were to allocate, let's say like 40 gigs to a server, right? That server would tick up slowly over time until it hit, 80% of 40 gigs or whatever it happened to be. I don't know the exact percentage. And then it would garbage collect and it would go over all of the records in memory and it would say, what can I remove? What can I keep? Get rid of the stuff that I don't need and bring it back down to the minimum amount of memory that you've set. And the problem with that is it will kill CPU and the entire server will hang um, for maybe like a second or a few seconds. And in a more kind of reasonable example, if you set your memory too high on a client and you have a memory leak or whatever, then you can freeze for 2 seconds every 15 seconds or something like that, and that's really bad. So that's where kind of memory balancing comes in. But if a TPS is really low and garbage collection doesn't look like a jigsaw like that, or for example the garbage collection time. So down the bottom, that's how long it takes to do garbage collection. So right now it's at about 17 milliseconds every time it happens, and it's happening every 2 minutes, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, anyway, so like that's like if garbage collection is taking a really long time on a server, then it could be that we set memory too high, like, and that's where you'd want to refer to me probably. As far as I know, I'm the only person um, who really knows how to get into like the advanced stuff like that. But that's just something to keep an eye out for. Other than that, I'm pretty sure you guys all know. Just respond to, whoops, at mod requests in chat, and keep an eye on the IRC and stuff. I'm just gonna send Pink a message.
Pink is what Inrix calls Rosa for some reason. No one really knows. I bet he has a crush.
The truth revealed.
Yes, Smolder, everyone's meant to see that channel. You know what, I'll go over that. So, like, under server management, there's a test server thing. I might even be able to get all of that running today. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting up all of the servers so that they have a wrapper around their console.
Yeah, it's staying safe.
So, yeah. So...
Keeping it wrapped.
Okay, so, basically, the way that it will work is if you look in that channel, you'll see that, the bot awakening has actually said box with an arrow and then a command. So basically, the way that it works is if somebody's doing commands from remote desktop, it'll show them doing it in this channel, and if you do a command in this channel, it'll show on the remote console that your Discord username has run a command, and it'll be accessible to mods basically. So this will give you console access for servers effectively, and it'll give you for mods, at least for now, it'll give you full access. I'm planning on setting it up so that regulars can do Forge TPS basically, and online. I think are the two commands that I'll give permission for them to use. And so basically the way that it will work, or the way that it's planned to work, is right now when I boot up the API, which is a whole bunch of stuff that I've written. It looks through every single server folder that's in the drives, and it looks at the world data file. And if that data file has been modified in the last 5 minutes, it presumes that the server is running, and it it goes to the server's config file for its Discord bots, grabs the Discord token out of that, and boots up um, a second bot alongside the one that will already be running on the server, because you can actually have multiple um, like programs running off the same bot user. So it starts off that, and that's how you get the message of the day and stuff under the servers on the right, which I'm going to fix soon. The API is down right now. But basically, the plan is that using a similar kind of method, you'll be able to start a server using the wrapper instead of starting it directly, and it will let you run commands and stuff through a channel. Which hopefully I was hoping to get it so that it would create the channel itself and automatically get the bot. So you just gotta, you can just move the script to any folder and start it. And the
So
real
how would you?
benefit is it'll start letting us do stuff like stopping and starting servers completely without any interaction with the remote desktop itself. Changing RAM values and stuff, because all of that's just a variable that will be stored in the thing. Integrating into the website, all that stuff. But the point for mods is that you guys will be able to do console access, which most of the time you shouldn't need it, but it can be quite useful just to see like errors, especially like if somebody's trying to join and they can't join. You can get errors in console, which can help, and that's kind of a big thing is being able to read errors. I won't get into that too much because it takes quite a bit to like explain it. But basically, when you get an error, you get like a stack trace of like everything that's happened, and if the error isn't very revealing, the random text that goes below the error that most people generally ignore has it's basically like a list of things that were executed in order before the error happened. And so if you like have an error and it's like some generic error and you're like, okay, well that's completely useless, you can look down there and be like, oh, Thorncraft is trying to get like a list of players, and the error is, this key doesn't exist or whatever. And so if you're a programmer, then you can be like, oh, okay, so like it's trying to find a player that doesn't exist in the list of players, or like something like that. But like that's kind of complicated, and then you'd want to forward that to me or Silver or who knows about that stuff. Anyway, I presume that everyone's gotten Enigmatica installed by now. That should be enough time. So if you could open up its instance folder and go into mods and install those two mods that are covered in admin resources, the lag goggles and chunk pre-generator, that would be good. And it's 1.12, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Both are on Twitch as well, if you want to do with that method.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I use multi-MC because Twitch broke for me a long time ago. It'll probably work now that I've reinstalled my computer, but multi-MC is just faster.
Yeah. Twitch is not a good program. Twitch was a mistake.
The original launcher was actually quite nice,
What?
like the curse launcher,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then Twitch bought them.
I mean, you say it was quite nice. I'd say it was like about the same, just slightly better
The
performance.
original FTB launcher.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, the original one, the Java one, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
The curse launcher
That
though.
was
It gave you the console. It gave you everything you needed to know.
Yeah.
I remember when they were like working on the beta for that, everyone was so hyped, and then they released it, and everyone was like, ah! And yeah, it was It was really nice.
I don't think I've ever seen the new version of the launcher.
Well, it's
Oh yeah,
Twitch
they were
now.
working on like a beta. They were working on like a beta new version, and then they partnered with Curse or whatever, and like integrated it into the Curse Forge launcher instead of finishing their like. They had like a really nice like FTB custom one. But the reason they integrated with Curse is because it let them have the launcher work with like any mod pack instead of just FTB ones.
Yeah.
It's like in multi MC. There is actually a list of FTB mod packs that you can select from, and it's up to date. That's basically what the FTB.
I mean, you say that the old FTP launcher supported other packs. You know.
Yeah, it's just that it didn't have like a search feature for them.
Oh yeah, but there weren't that many on it. It did this whole weird thing with like pack codes and stuff, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, you just had to get like a code for a pack, and then it would install it.
Ah.
I remember because I got into like some betas for something or other.
Yeah.
I
It's
remember
basically
those
like if
days.
you
They
want
were
to
fun.
load a custom mod pack, you just grab the pack code, paste it into like the installer. It's similar to what you have now, where you just paste the zip, and that zip has like all the pack metadata that you need, and you can install it. That's how FTB does their beta packs. They give out a zip that has links with authentication to the if there's any unreleased mods, it has like private links to the with auth to those mods and stuff, and you just click install and it sets it all up. So it's not actually like a special pack that you have to log in to get access to. It's just a zip. But I'm not in that Discord anymore. So
Anymore? What happened?
yeah.
Fired for
Oh, I just
insubordination.
like wasn't active. I just wasn't active,
Banned.
basically.
Should have invited me.
They like they were redoing like all of their roles and everything. Banshee might still be in it, but I doubt it. We were both gonna be in there a lot, and then I moved, so I couldn't stream, and the ping to their servers was like way worse than we thought it was gonna be. But Banshee and I were just like, oh yeah, no, we can just like put up a private server and play like the beta packs together. That'll be fine. And then we were like, hey, so like our ping's real bad to like your main server. Can we just put up like a private one and play, like, together? And they were like, nope. Definitely not. We were like, okay, but then like, we're not gonna play it. Like they were fine for you to play single player, but like,
Open
they
to LAN.
refused.
Tungle, mate. Evolve.
God.
Hamachi. Technically still single player.
Hey, now that I think about it, we could have done that with a VPN. That would have worked. Except my internet was absolute garbage at the time, so Banshee would have had to have hosted. But I mean, it would have worked. I mean, Banshee's internet was also garbage at the time because it was on Wi-Fi, so it would have worked, but not that great. And
What?
but yeah, so we ended up just kind of like I joined the server and like Banshee played a little bit.
Huh.
Banshee played like a bunch on the first pack, but it wasn't that great. It was just kind of like get on, play the pack, find bugs, report them. That was it. So in the time that I've been speaking, your Enigmatica 2 should have started. If you didn't start it, then well, Mark.
This takes forever to start, dude.
It
I've crashed
does.
twice now.
Well, mine
Okay,
just
so
finished starting. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna all Hey Silver, do you remember the last time we did this?
Not really, but continue anyway.
I remember
Where
it
we
was
at
nice
the
and
at the
fun.
end of it, we there was some random guy on the server. We were like, oh, how could you do this? Oh, you suck, and then we all left at once.
I don't remember that at all.
We made it. We made it. Oh, maybe you weren't there. When we were going over new moderators, and we were on some server. I think it was actually Enigmatica. Enigmatica is like the mod introduction to mod pack. It wasn't Skyblock because Skyblock wasn't out there. But we were like, oh, we need to leave in style, and so we picked some random person on the server, and we were like, oh man, how could you? Like, god damn it, why'd you do this or whatever? And he was like, what? And we were like, I can't believe it. We're just gonna go. How could you? And then we had like 10 people on the server. It's just all 10 of them just left.
Fantastic.
He was just like, what did I do?
Bullying. Cyberbullying. In my server. Honestly.
What does Von Spookelton mean?
Us.
What does Von Spookelton mean?
Story time.
Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's story time. But you want to know where
No.
the name came from?
Yes.
we were playing Killing Floor 2, and I had to pick a server name. And one of my friends' names was Baron von Spookelton something something, a really long, like, convoluted name. And I was like, fuck it, von Spookelton, that's a good name. And then when I was putting the server live, the first Minecraft server, I was like, no, I can't be bothered thinking of a decent name. Let's just go with that, and it stuck. That is the extremely abridged version. I'm gonna get on the Enigmatic 2 server and use that as well.
I demand a short story telling the full version, unabridged.
Well, I mean, to be honest, that was kind of like I skipped over like everything that happened. For the name, that's about it. For the like rest of the community, I suppose there's like more, but not really.
Yeah, I want all of it.
You wanna-
Yeah, write it, I'll publish it. I've got a KDP account, I'll do it.
So most people will have mods, some won't, like A minor, which I will opt, and then TP to me.
Woot.
So basically, I'm gonna be setting up all of the ops after this conversation, and then all it'll take is a restart for them to all apply. So if you need not before then tell us basically, and we can opt you. Although you know eventually that's not going to be needed because mods will just have console access and they can just opt themselves.
That's the point actually. Are these all the new mods, or is there another one we're missing?
There's a bunch that we're missing, but they're not around. So.
We're missing Baron. Not Baron. Baron's here.
Baron's
I'm an idiot. Never mind.
Right here. I'm not on the server yet.
I was ignoring him, so I didn't see him.
Eight.
He wasn't
I
speaking.
was
What
also
is that?
able to follow along with something.
No, I actually just haven't been able to hear him, if I'm being honest.
He hasn't been speaking.
Oh, has never been speaking.
Yeah?
I was muted for like 20 minutes.
Why can't I?
Inrix, I like your skin.
He's already up.
Thank you. This has actually just been hue shifted from my old one, but
Inrix.
I had a really nice skin that I made, and then I like lost it because I made this one, but I don't use like pre-built ones because
I've been on the op list since the last time we did this, mate.
So what are you guys playing?
What do you mean you've been on the op list since the last time we did this?
He's been in.
I was there the first time we did the lag goggles.
Yeah, Neefle's been a
Right,
mod for
right.
months, mate.
Inrix, I've been a mod for longer than a lot of people here.
Why do you have new mods?
Yeah, because you gave it to me!
That's not true. It might have been me
That's what
actually.
I'm saying! I'm saying, why do I have a new mod? I know what I'm doing. I was so confused.
Okay, look.
I was like, I am a mod on Divine Journey. I did Project Ozone a bit. Mate.
Yeah, it was
Look,
me.
okay, no, no reason.
I gave you new mods. It's all my fault.
No, you didn't, because I'm pretty sure I did.
No, I just.
Like, I've had creative mode on this server for a while too, man.
Y'all
I'm
have
not
a
even
good day.
surprised that Silver, the Silver would have done that.
Well, yeah, well, you're banned, so take that.
Okay,
It's also
so
being-
is everyone
It's
here?
also
yet?
being Silver, every
Silver
source is
isn't on.
wrong.
How are we
brain.
supposed to teach Silver how to mod?
Good question.
Ban him.
Let's just give him mod.
If you ban him, then he doesn't have to learn.
Mate, we'll ban you in the process.
I'm just listening.
Yeah, you can.
How am I supposed to start Animatica 2 Skyblock if you guys do this?
Right. But hang on, it hasn't started yet.
Jeez, okay. You know how long I've been working on Silent? Months, damn it.
On what?
The only reason why
My Enigmatica 2 Expert Island.
Oh,
There we go.
Do you-
That's a good trait.
do you have it?
Destroyed it.
I really want to see this now.
It's a thing of beauty.
Is it? The,
Oh wait, Inrix, I haven't finished it yet.
I didn't break it, as he did. Bad person.
Okay, Inrix,
My game
your treat's finished.
You need to extend it down.
Interesting. I thought I broke my pick block again.
are you guys building a dogger? I swear to
No,
God.
no.
Why would
No,
it?
It's a
this is-
really
this is
fucking
bad. This
huge
is way
tree.
better. My tree on my island.
I'm having flashbacks to my
No,
toast dog I made.
No. Azu, just let it be completely straight. Here, I'll send Silver a screenshot.
It's complete.
It'll be opposite of you than Nipple, right?
Oh,
Here you go. Wow, Baron, that's fucking rude. You want to get banned?
kinda.
You know what? Fuck it.
Not again. You're not again.
Red wasn't even on.
Doesn't matter. He got banned.
Why I was almost on. I just
Not anymore.
started logging
Yeah,
in.
this is the pinnacle of beauty.
I love it.
Need my items into a
Let me just
I'll
op you
do-
Red.
Off a band, man.
Well, he's probably in survival, so he's gonna fall real quickly. Quick, type.
Type what?
In general.
Oh, okay, that worked. Thanks.
You're welcome.
He's gonna TP him to me in case he, yeah. Do you like my tree?
Yes, I love it. It's
Beautiful.
so handsome.
Silver isn't even on.
I'm clairvoyant. You know.
Are you
So I
actually
swear-
starting?
I
Or
swear
Yeah,
are
I'm-
you-
I'm
are
actually
it's everyone?
I'm actually starting. It's just taking a while.
Okay, everyone should go into controls and find the lag goggles key and check if you need to rebind it.
What did I rebind it to?
So chunk pre-generator is under I, which should work, but if it doesn't, we'll need to change it.
It's not found best by searching leg goggles or something.
And lag goggles is on insert, which doesn't work, so you'll need to rebind it. And chunk pre-generator works, lag goggles does not.
Rebind me, Danny.
What's the
So rebind lag
category
goggles
it's
to like
under?
L or something.
We
do you happen
can
to know the
delete.
category it's under, or
It's under lag goggles. You just gotta scroll down. Go alphabetically by the mod name.
Profile
You can
GUI?
also search by
Yeah,
category.
so when you press it, it'll come up with like a profile for X seconds, and I'll explain how to use that in a second.
oh, that
L is a cheat.
Bye, Silver.
Bye.
large cube like.
freaking
I don't
noise.
have it. It doesn't show up.
Oh god, not the Nether Star crux again.
What? No, who's you? No, don't. You ruined it.
I've improved the tree.
You've ruined it.
Oh my
You've ruined
God.
I've
the tree.
improved it.
It's
You've ruined the tree.
amazing.
It was perfect how it was.
Nothing's ever perfect.
You are a disappointment.
Oh shit!
Silver.
I didn't mean. I meant middle click.
Yes, Henrix?
Immediately somebody fucks up. Silver!
There. Much better.
Okay, everyone open up lag goggles.
I did mention had I
Silver,
have
that's not
I
very
can't find
nice.
it in controls. It's not under L.
Hi there, buddy. You fucked up, by the way. I'm not dead. But nice try.
Oh.
Isn't it nice here? Don't have to deal with anyone. We're in the abyss.
What? Did you?
No, it's cool.
Don't kick me, I'm in the middle of profiling.
Oh, okay, yeah. So,
I can't.
a important
Right.
thing to know. When somebody else profiles, it profiles the entire server. So to profile, you can scroll on the profile button to change the amount of time that you want to profile for.
What if we profile for
And
an
then
hour?
after you profile, it'll bring up some stuff. So I'm gonna profile for 10 seconds, and you want to set it to world, not FPS. And you'll see it'll say Inrix, and then the
As
amount of
was the
time left on
laggiest of us.
profile.
Banaisa.
We will wait a second for it to come up. And then once it finishes, it'll give us a thing that says analyze results. So if everyone opens up their thing, you'll see it says analyze results.
I
Oh.
didn't get that option.
So there's two things that you should probably understand. Single entities are just like individual blocks, basically. Entities by animals. Entities by type is like every single tile casing on the server. That's where like you can see like, oh, bell jars are the second laggiest thing on the server, you know, or like special floating flowers, which is Botania flowers, are floating Botania flowers, sorry, are the third laggiest thing. Event subscribers are basically like mods in general, but not quite. It's basically like better questing, for example, like has an advanced describer when the player logs in, or when the player ticks, or like something like that. They're basically like events that happen and they listen for them. And it shows how much of the server's usage is. Like thermodynamics is every single time the world ticks, is one of its events subscribed. But generally, the only thing we care about is single entities. If you double click on a single entity, it'll teleport you to that entity as a.
I know. This
For
is
Neo, I don't
actually-
even care about anything.
Okay,
So this is a great example. If you guys could all TP to the laggiest block on the server.
I'll have to explain. Electro actually already fixed this. I just unfixed it because it was the laggiest block.
So, fun fact about Minecraft and pretty much anything. And this applies to pretty much every single thing that you could ever get, really. The laggiest thing on a server is not something that is processing a lot of blocks, with some exceptions, but it's the thing that has the capability to process a lot of blocks, but isn't. So basically, when these things, these floating pure daisies, are actually processing items, it's fine. But when they are waiting to be able to process items, they will be constantly ticking, waiting for this living rock to be replaced with rock or wood, and that causes them to update a shit ton and cause a bunch of lag. And it's the same reason why hoppers, vanilla hoppers, are the worst thing in the world, because when they are full, or when they are, sometimes when they're even empty, or when the inventory that they are attached to is full and they have some items in them, they will not tick every 1 second like they usually would when moving items. They will tick as fast as they possibly can to see when the inventory is free, because they want to start moving items the second it becomes free. If you take an item out of a chest, the hopper will immediately place an item in there. It won't, the remainder of the delay between each of its movement cycles and then put one. It's always instant, and then it goes back to 1 every second. And as a result of that, you get horrendous update times for blocks like that. So the simple fix to this is just to grab the floating daisies, break both of them, and put them in a chest. Give it a chest, and
Cheating.
and then what you do is you'd also give yourself a sign, and you'd say like please, remove these. I'm not gonna fully type it out because it's annoying, but you basically say like, please, don't leave these placed down if you're not using them. I've put them in this chest. Well, you don't need to say that, but just like, please don't leave them sitting there doing nothing. Or I think with the flowers, it's fine if there aren't actually blocks here. But just like, don't leave them sitting there with living rock around them, because it'll be laggy. Silver.
Yes? How do you make a snow golem? I can't remember. Oh, there we go. It wasn't working.
What version is
Um,
ETVS?
So
Or what-
anyway, so you guys should all see that you can see things that are laggy as well.
No.
Around the world, and if you look up, you can actually see chunks that are laggy. So like over here, there are some laggy chunks. Most of the time, though, Tick Profiler's chunk thingy isn't that reliable or isn't that useful. So this one block, this recycler, has 95 milliseconds update time, and that's because, lo and behold, it's full of items and waiting to pull items out.
And
So, Azzy, what do you have to say for yourself?
I haven't been playing this for a very long time.
Okay, so that's another thing. If you haven't been playing on like a server for ages, please unload your chunks. It makes a massive difference.
How did you guys get in there?
How do we get in there?
elevator.
Elevator.
Yeah.
Right here.
Oh, it's in the center. Okay. I was looking for something on the side.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you don't, I will. But I just won't reload them, or reclaim them in general.
Okay, so we can unload chunks that are claimed by other people.
Yeah, well, we can do anything. Actually, can we?
Okay, so we now,
Are we
so
off level 4?
if that's actually a really good thing you brought up because I'd kind of forgotten about this. So when you're basically whenever there's lag on a server, you basically just want to hop between the laggiest block to the next laggiest block, and you want to one of the things that you kind of want to check is if you come across somebody's base. Generally, the first thing that I do is I look at the name of the person who's claimed the chunks, and I'll go. Like if they're like Azzy's base isn't that bad. There's only really like 2 things in here that are like super laggy.
Make that 3.
So like I could just take like this recycler and put it in a chest. Take like this fluid, like these things, and just chuck them in a chest. But if it's somebody who hasn't been on the server in a long time, and the easiest way to check that is to go to the max players page, and that's why I said it's really useful. You can go there, you can set it to like the last 7 days and control F and just type in that person's name, and if it doesn't come up at the bottom of the server, then you can be okay, they haven't been online in the last 7 days. I can use the FTB commands to unload all of their chunks. Sadly, I think you can actually unload specific chunks in 1.12, but in 1.7 you can only unload all chunks or no chunks, and some versions of FTBU you can't actually unload chunks.
There's like a unclaimed GUI in 1.7 that you can use to unclaim individual chunks.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that that was only 1.12.
No, it's 1.7.
No, that's 1.7.
And then I'm guessing 1.12's the broken one then. Right.
Oh, they're all broken.
Yeah.
It's Silver's fault. Blame ban Silver.
Okay. Ban Red. You're not even in. Fuck's sake.
He is. Oh, yeah, that's right. He didn't have lag goggles.
Yeah.
Because he's dumb.
Well, my
I'm very dumb.
my-
He himself said this, so.
my lag machine is very effective.
Hear some of it, so.
Yeah, so you can check that stuff, and that's generally something that you want to do. Also, you want to keep an eye out for non. Oh.
What did you do?
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. Did you break the draw?
No!
What did you do?
What did you
I
guys do?
banned you.
You
I
banned?
banned him, and then I got kicked.
Why? I don't understand.
Nobody.
It's the lag machine.
Wait, my lag machine is beautiful.
Oh, where have you put this thing?
Let's see this lag machine.
It's a snowball generator using a formation, annihilation plane hooked up to a drawer. It's shitty.
Oh, it's over here.
Let's find this thing. What is this? Oh, you would.
Thank you. I needed a snowball generator.
I love that
I
machine.
did- Oh.
Oh wait, that was backwards. Never mind.
No,
Good job.
Henrik, how could you? Oh no, it was Neeful.
I don't have my macro, so I can't right click fast enough to properly do this. Anyway, what?
He ungame moded me.
What did Nipple do?
He saw.
He ungame moded me.
Yeah, I want to kill you.
Yeah, I know. That's why I kicked you beforehand.
So Silver, how do you unclaim in 1.12? It's just command.
I
can't actually
well
use
no,
it.
I think you can just open the normal claims map now and do it.
You can't.
I can't. Yeah.
Let me take a look when I get on.
So
Actually, 1 second.
across 1.12 servers, there's a bunch of different commands. So there's /admin.
Oh no,
/FTP.
Enrix. You can, but you have to be in a team to unclaim.
Yeah.
Do you have to be in your own team or in any team?
Yes, you have to make a team.
Okay.
As you, I just unclaimed a chunk of your base. You should probably go claim that again.
Wahaha.
I mean,
I had a test.
chunks. So you should technically also be able to do chunks, unclaim _all, and then AZULOR. You must be in a team to do that. Ah, right. Okay. Just create a team. So you should also be able to do this command, which is I'll show you how it works. So if I run that, Azure is not a valid number. True is not a valid number.
Which command is it?
Oh, you have to give it the dimension. You have to give it the dimension.
Ah, right. Okay, so we want to unclaim all of Azure
Like that.
in dimension.
Hey, Azu, your entire base is unclaimed now.
Yay.
Mod abuse, gonna
You're
get
welcome.
a ban.
Which is fine because it's in the middle of nowhere and you don't play the server much anymore.
It's a sky block, they're all in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. Why do we even have
Niffle,
claims?
have it.
Yeah, it's my base.
That's great.
I claimed it. I have proof.
Claimed by Niffle.
Yeah, see? It's mine.
As you can see, I'm also part of the space.
Same.
What do you mean? No, it's only mine, Rex. Inrik just claimed all around it. It's
Guys,
clearly
Niffle
his.
claimed the middle of my base.
Finally,
Obviously abusing his powers.
What do you mean? You don't have any? You don't have any Inriks? No.
not anymore.
We're playing Tetris.
I'll just unclaim all mine.
I don't think that's how Tetris works. I don't think you can play Tetris in Minecraft properly.
Okay.
We are bad
Anyway.
people.
So that's how you unclaim
Yes,
in
we are.
112. And,
Hey, the best way to
how you
unclaim
claim
is
in
just to
112.
nuke
It's
the
good to know
server.
that you guys all know how to do that. And so basically, you want to just kind of profile, teleport to the next laggiest thing, inspect it, go from there. So this is a transfer pipe, extra utilities transfer.
Oh, damn it. I'll fix up my own base.
So this is Chryslia's base.
Chrysella.
Yeah.
No, it's
Chrysalis?
Chryslia's.
What? Spell it?
Can you see?
Inrik is a bad person.
Is it that, Inrix?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's Chrysella.
Chryslia's. No, it's Chryslia's.
Mate, that person,
Chrysalis?
It's like our Silver's simpler.
that person gives you $25 a month. You should respect them.
Wait, how do I
Called the-
do
it's
the
called
thing
the
where
big
I
joke.
teleport to the latest block?
Double
How do you
click it.
teleport? Open up
Yeah,
lag
Legacy.
goggles and just go down the list. The thing is the list won't update. You have to reprofile. So yeah. Basically, don't profile every time because profiling can cause the server to hang occasionally.
Baron, why have you been here?
What?
Why have
What
you been
the
here?
heck is this base?
Because I was installing
Isn't this
lake
base
goggles.
beautiful?
It's everything's
No,
so
Baron.
together.
Look at that. Look at that screenshot.
What the
That's what you
heck?
call a bad base. You guys should teach me.
I mean, this is what I do, pretty much.
This is actually cancer though. You know?
Honestly, it would
Well,
look
I
cleaner
get
if you disable the lag goggles overlay.
You can if you press 3 and click hide latest scan results.
Unwieldy
Doesn't
koala
look
has
that
joined the
bad.
chat.
Somebody's so you can profile for shorter times on some servers where it's extremely laggy. You can crash not crash, but you can kick everyone from trying to profile, and then you don't actually get the profile done.
Do it.
And that's where you want to use a shorter profile duration.
Gotta say, this is my kind of base.
Harry Arnie's team. I don't know if he's been on recently, but basically you want to like check, has this player been online? If he hasn't, unclaim his chunks.
He was on last Thursday.
What is the NS
Last
for
Thursday,
NS
as in
class
like
F
this
mean
week.
again?
As in
How often?
this week.
How often does he play though?
Okay. Yeah, so basically, most of the time, if their base isn't that bad, and this base isn't that bad, it's only got, you know, like a few laggy blocks, you can just, like, you know, replace the, like, take the laggy blocks and put them in a chest, and leave, like, a message, and,
That's when you void mine
and
the
leave it. But
floor.
if they haven't been online for a week, or like 5-ish days generally, then you can unclaim their chunks and leave a sign saying, hey, you know, you haven't been online, there's a few things that you might want to fix, please reclaim your chunks if you get back on. And, you know, that's where basically anyone's base is free game if the player hasn't been online for more than a month. Or a month,
Wait,
basically,
what?
is what we say.
How's
Yeah.
it right here? What the fuck?
What?
It's a different red. It's a joke. The sign says
Okay.
signed red on it.
Where's the sign?
Hey, Belzer's
Axel's base.
Chrysella.
Got him.
Yeah,
Um,
it's on the fountain. It looks dumb.
Wait, where do you guys go?
Oh,
We're at this amazing base.
Who? Cristella's base? I'm there.
This base is special. Mainly because of the centerpiece. Magnificent. Oh, who joined?
some dude.
Taskmaster.
Who is this dude?
Some.
Rando.
He's a regular.
He's a rando.
Recognize him. Taskmaster. How dare you, Silver?
Listen, if they're not mods, they're randos.
Yeah, and this is why Silver's actually getting demoted at the end of this month, guys.
Oh, this month.
So when do we get to
you,
ban?
you have 1 month, Silver.
I'm
How you
afraid,
think
Enrix, you have also been demoted.
it's- Oh damn!
You are no longer.
didn't see that one coming.
I like the logic of this base. He's got
Yeah, it's great.
greenhouse
You can really
glass.
see the thought gone into all of its design.
I know he's got greenhouse glass right underneath a solar panel.
I really want to see this base
I
now.
want to replace all these chests with like actual chests, iron chests.
You should replace all of them with the tiny chests.
Oh no!
If he asks about it, just be like, oh, those are always like, don't know what you're talking about.
Now just make one of the giant chests, route all the pipes to it.
That would and then set up filters properly so they all still work.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, smart.
yeah. Crisella has just joined the game.
Everyone TP to him.
Oh no.
Close enough.
We know what you're doing.
Everyone. And yes, we know what you're.
Oh.
Oh dang! Look at that.
Hmm.
Got roof tiles and everything.
While we're here, you know, while we've got everyone together, I should do a reading.
Oh god.
The palm rating?
Well, if you want to send me your palm, go ahead, but no, I meant my amazing novella.
Yeah, so by the way, if a player's online, you can literally just be like, hey, this is laggy. Can you replace it with something or do something with it? That's generally, you know, like if the person's online, you should speak to them about
See,
it.
Enrique, you're too
Yeah, they
personal
ran
about
them,
it.
right?
You've got to be a lot more clinical. It's like, fix this lag or ban.
I just said that.
No, but
basically.
any further questions, you just reply or ban in increasingly capital letters.
Hey, we don't want to turn deaf.
So you end up going with the Cthulhu language, you know.
Oh, ban.
Your soul will mine.
Just play the Abyssal ritual sound.
Okay.
So another thing, if the lag is due to like items or whatever, lag profiler won't pick that up. Sorry, lag goggles won't pick that up. So what you need to do is you need to dash profile E and then a number, and the number basically is the same as profiling normally. Generally, I do 10 seconds. I'm gonna start profiling. Nobody else profile while I'm doing it, so I've just started running the entity profiler for 10 seconds, and in 10 seconds it will give me a result. And this is actually per person, so all of you guys are gonna have to run it. So everyone run dash profile 10.
Slash
It shouldn't
profile
matter if you all do it at the same time. Yeah, slash profile 10.
because Enrix is illiterate.
Yeah. Kill yourself.
Learn to
Ah.
speak.
It says usage exception, unknown profile and type 10.
This
Did I
is
do that right?
Sorry,
letter
yeah,
E.
like that.
Oh,
So E stands for entities.
So this is coming from where exactly? Which mod?
Light goggles.
It's still Lego goggles. Okay.
Actually, no, the profile command is a mod that gets installed on the server, so you can do this even if you don't have lag goggles installed.
Yeah, but you really
The
shouldn't.
problem is that it's way less accurate for entities, but for chunks, it's still quite.
Ginrix, you should watch the animation that I posted.
We're
Yeah.
busy doing important mod stuff. Go away, Smelly.
Well, whenever you get a chance. Whenever you get a chance.
Sure, just DM me it so I actually see it.
Yeah. Where did I put you?
So once you've done that, you'll get a printout of a whole bunch of stuff. The first thing is single entities. Pretty much always ignore that because you have lag goggles. But the one that you're actually interested in is all entities of type, which is really useful. If that's like entity item and it's like a really high percent, then you know that there's a problem. So now looking at the output, you should see that single entity, there's 2 zombie pigmen. Chunk is some random chunk in the nether, because the dimension ID is -1, and that's got a 7% usage, and entities of type, entity pig zombie, which is zombie pigman, is at 6%. And that means that there's probably someone who set up a mob spawner in the nether that's overflowing. So the chunk is 3926. And what that means is the chunk coordinates. So there's 2 ways to convert that. You can multiply both the numbers by 16, or you can use Dinnerbone's chunk tools, which is generally better. So I'll give you the link to that. So this is in the IRC.
It's also in admin
That lets you
resources.
convert between. Yeah, it's also in admin resources, of course. So if you take 39 for the X of the chunk selection information, and then 26, that gives you. Basically, it'll say this chunk selection contains blocks between this and this. Just grab one of those ranges, copy it, dash TP, paste it in, and replace the middle number with a Y that's like, like I usually use 100 when I'm going to chunks, because that should be high enough to not have you on the ground. And now, because this is in the nether, you're going to have to find a way to get into the nether. I presume that Christia has a nether portal somewhere. I hope.
Just never been to the nether.
She does, but it's
Just
Hey.
build one.
You're getting everything wrong, Henrix. God.
Hashtag bad owner.
Excuse me, sir. This is simply.
Okay, so where do you want us to input the numbers in?
God damn it.
I'm sorry, I'm
I'll
playing
show you
it
the command once I get back in. Oh, that was
Yeah,
you, wasn't it, Silver?
No.
I was asleep for the last hour. What did you say?
Send nudes. Right now.
Okay, so
Nukes.
if you guys look at the profile, you get the chunk coordinates, and you put those coordinates into Dinnerbone's chunk tools. And in Dinnerbone's chunk tools, it'll say this chunk contains selection. Sorry, this chunk selection contains blocks. And then there's a set of 3 numbers to another set of 3. Now, because a chunk is only 16 by 16 blocks, you can just grab, say, the first set of numbers and copy them. And then what you want to do is you want to type in /TP, paste in the numbers, and then you want to remove the middle number and the commas, and put 100 in place of the middle number. The middle number is the y-axis, so that's how high you are in the world. And so you want to set it to 100 so you're not like in the ground. And then you just leave the x and z axes the same. And now we need a nether portal. So most of the time when I'm in a base, somebody has a nether, but Krista doesn't. So I'm gonna go to Axon's base and just try.
So is that in chunk section information or region information?
chunk section information?
Wait, that's where you plug it in?
Okay, yeah, you put the coordinates into the chunk section information. So you put the x and the z in. You ignore the y, because that doesn't matter. That's just the height. And then it'll give you below that. It'll say this chunk section contains blocks thing to thing. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so those are the coordinates that you want to use.
Okay, so just punch one of them in and just edit the Y correctly.
Yep, to 100. Now, because it's in the nether, and you can know that because the dimension ID is -1, you're gonna want to, Azzy, how did you TP into the nether? You just do -1 after the coordinates.
No, I was already in the nether.
Oh, okay. How'd you get in?
He cheated.
Portal. If you go onto, well, if you
That's
still
not how I do it.
my base, I have a portal down
Ah, right, okay.
the world.
Well, I can't TP to you to get to your base. Come back. Yeah, I was trying to find a nether portal, but I couldn't.
Gotta be honest, y'all, I'm having dinner.
Like, the
Great timing, I'm aware, but
And you
Yeah.
can
okay,
TP
so
to me
everyone
now.
TP to me.
You said put -1 after. The
No, that
coordinates,
doesn't
right?
work.
Yeah, no, I didn't think it would work. So yeah, okay, so we're gonna go into the nether.
It
And
won't
once
let
you
me
are in the
teleport.
nether, you can now TP to those coordinates. Now, the coordinates that I have is 624, 100, 416. So you can TP there, and we are in Black Gecko's team, it looks. And,
That sounds like a name I want to ban.
Are you just testing shit?
looks like there
Awakening?
is some kind of spawner here.
Is
But,
that
Not a blade.
it
right
doesn't
now?
look like it's overflowing, so... I don't know
I
why
don't
this
know how
place...
to-
And that's the thing, the chunk profiling tools is not always that accurate.
It could be that it's just loaded this whole area.
Yeah, sometimes it's just that this area isn't loaded very well.
This experience pylon is full. Could that be affecting it at all, perchance?
If the experience pylon is full, then wouldn't XP be dropping?
Presumably yes. And
Wait a second.
We also
The
stored
command
in
is
Or-
/TP, right?
yeah,
And not
you
stupid.
can't
looks like
teleport
they're not-
cross dimensions, right?
Yeah, you have to find a nether
do that.
portal and go into it.
I have no idea where Nether
Make
portal is.
one.
I'm
You have game mode 1.
TP to
I don't wanna-
1000.
Oh, as your little base snoods.
Yeah.
Leaked,
Ancillor face.
Yeah.
nudes.
I'm directly south of spawn. You know,
Oh, that's why I'm just stupid.
Yep.
I forgot to put in my name.
So it seems like this is fine, so... It might just be that you needed to TP to it. You can always do another profile, which is what I'm gonna do. Profile E10. Profile for another 10 seconds, see if it's still an issue. If it is, then, you know, you can try and figure it out. If it's something random, sometimes it is not that accurate. As you can see, just teleporting to it, it's gone away, so that probably fixed it. There were also 3 zombie pigmen standing on this ledge, which I punched off the edge because, if the
Fuck
issue
zombie
says,
pigmen.
yeah, if the issue says zombie pigmen and you see zombie pigmen, just kill them. Because sometimes you can have a mob that is just extremely laggy and will just be doing absolutely nothing. It'll just be standing there, but it'll be the laggiest entity on the server, or you know.
Yeah.
So
Ban them.
oops.
good job. Yeah, do not use kill commands unless you know what you're doing.
I know what I'm doing.
Silver,
Silver.
you failed.
No, I didn't. See?
Look, when even the community says your name, you say that. It's probably not a good sign.
The amount of times that Silver and I have been trying to kill entities and have killed every player on the server.
No, we haven't done that often actually. It's mostly Paradox that does it. Fucking Paradox, man.
Don't tell him.
Isn't it slash butcher that kills mobs?
No, that's a plugin command. So you can do it in vanilla. You just do /kill -E, and then you have to have an exclusion for players. But the thing is if you get anything in the command wrong, syntax-wise, it just kills everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you an error. It literally, if you get the exclusion wrong, it just kills everything. The actual command is in
Okay.
admin resources, so I'm pretty sure if you just copy paste that. Let's see here. So in admin resources,
The best
if I scroll down,
the best part is technically the command works perfectly. You know,
yeah, at kill e/e type item. So if I do this, boom,
and before we
you should
die.
see a. Do you see the chat spam and chat?
Nope.
Okay. Well, it
I'm not
just
looking
kill,
at the game.
it'll
That's
give
a
you-
lot.
Oh, you guys saw it?
Yeah, I'm just not looking at the game.
That's
Yeah.
a
So like
lot of
it'll
damage.
dump in chat everything that it's killed, basically.
Would it dump in IRC?
No, doesn't
No,
appear
it
enough.
won't dump in IRC.
I wish it did. That'd be quite cool.
Or at least it shouldn't dump in IRC. No, it doesn't dump.
Can we make it do that?
No silver. No, we cannot.
Silver, yes.
So another thing that you can do is you can grab where is it? In the admin resources, there's a cool command that Electro's posted where you can actually use chunk profile to chunk one chunk specifically. So if you're in somebody's base and you like want to find a laggy chunk within that base, so like if, for example, if you're using the profiling tools and you go to a laggy chunk and you can't figure out what's laggy within it, you can go profile E current chunk. Oh, I forgot to set a time, but basically you can profile the chunk that you're currently standing in, and it will give you the entity information for that one specific chunk. And so I've just done that in about 30 seconds. It'll come up. And I think
So
you can
profile
do chain on the end of this.
Current chunk is all one word, lowercase? Okay.
I don't know if the 10 will work. It defaults to 30 seconds. So you can see specs within this one specific chunk, basically. And entity magma cube is the laggiest thing. But I mean, all of the entities in here are going to be the laggiest thing because there's not much. So you can see like the tile entity fan is, and the XP orb is laggy and all that. But like they were just temporarily there. So most of the time it's not useful. Okay, bye officially.
He was never in voice.
Oh, the server is. Hey, Azzy. Sorry that it had to be this way.
What? Oh, that's fine. I can go at the back.
Yeah, I've just patched that up because it'll leak monsters,
Same.
and that's not great.
I leak monsters all the time. Wink.
I was just seeing if the cursed earth exceeded parameters. It's only 15 blocks in length.
Oh yeah, so that's like another thing. Those rules are really guidelines, but Electro didn't like me saying that because then players would treat them as guidelines. So like people can actually have cursed earth farms way bigger than what we've stated. It's just if they start causing lag, we have to like come. I never really agreed with having that rule, but it does take a lot of load off.
What rule?
There's like a rule that says try and keep Earth. Well, it says don't keep keep cursed Earth below like 15 by 15 order. And to be fair, like that's actually more than enough. But like if a player does happen to make more than that,
We ban.
I have a 15 by 15 in my base,
Well, you're
but
banned.
you guys never saw it.
The actual rule in regards to everything that not many people know kind of is if we never come across it, it doesn't matter what you do, basically.
We don't tell them that one.
You can do whatever you want.
It's not illegal if you don't get caught.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly, basically. But the thing is, it's like if we come across somebody's base and it is really bad, we're not gonna,
We will ban.
ban like Silverwoods.
We ban.
For everything.
Yeah.
But
It's the perfect response.
No, it's not.
No, see, but if we ban them, then they will never cause trouble.
But you've also limited your community a little bit.
No, see, I've got the best idea. /ban at E.
Oh gosh, what is mining level 6?
No, wait, at A.
Hey,
Aye. That's everyone.
it's banning
Slash
everything
ban
on Minecraft for
Azalor?
No, at A. That's everyone.
ban at Azure.
Ban at
The only way to create world peace is to kill all humans, so might as well just, you know.
exterminate, annihilate,
Um,
destroy all humans.
So yeah, so that's
Yep.
kind of like it, mainly for profiling and stuff. You kind of figure out as you go. If we look at the status site, oh yeah, a really important thing. So like, if a server's at 20 TPS, and you can get that by going forge TPS. If a server's at 20 TPS, don't keep trying to find lag, because there will always be a laggiest block on the server. When you start a server up fresh, the laggiest block will exist. Most of the time it was Electro's player, but I mean, it could be anything.
Wait, why was their player so laggy?
Yeah, see,
Because there was nothing else causing lag on the server.
yeah, so we've banned Electro, so no more lag.
Yeah.
My solution works
For once.
every time.
So yeah, but now
Everyone's
my
dead,
task
you
for
already
you
died.
guys is to figure out the issues on the server and to TP to each of them and fix them up, because this server is in fact at 14, 17 TPS.
Okay, well, definitely one of them, I'm pretty sure, was Chrysilla.
So go. That includes you, Silver. Hop to it.
I'm playing Spider-Man. That's more important.
Or
Yeah, from what I
you
can see,
need to find all the issues
transfer
on the
node.
server and fix them.
Okay, how do I use
from what I
lag
can tell,
goggles?
Chrysilla has-
Press your thing.
Yeah, from what, yeah, she's got a transfer site.
So yeah, just like profile for 10 seconds. I'm profiling lag goggles so that you guys have a block of stuff that you can look at and just go nuts.
Oh right, I forgot you can do that too.
As far as I can
There
tell,
goes for-
there's no limit to how high of a time you can profile for.
Yeah,
that-
but don't,
like I
because then you have to restart the server.
Yeah, that's the idea. If we
Silver.
restart, server will be at 20 TPS. Guarantee it.
Silver?
Yeah.
Okay, another thing. Sometimes restarting a server will fix the TPS, right? But generally this is a terrible idea because you'll not actually find the problem. Silver, stop.
No, see, there isn't a problem if we pretend it doesn't exist.
Now most of the time if something is below 100 milliseconds update time,
You should destroy
don't
it.
bother trying to fix it. It's only stuff above 100 milliseconds that you really need
like
to deal with.
420.
Well, yeah, like 475. Like this transfer node.
But
That,
Oh, that says 420 for me.
oh well.
I think it's just a stone error.
Download
Wait,
the latest results.
Is profile?
You would have gotten an old profile. This has obviously gotten more laggy.
No, I think yours is just the update, Enrix. It's obviously gone less laggy. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of reds here. Look at this. This is 44 nanoseconds.
Okay, now what we need to do is we all need to harass Chryslia
Chryslia.
Chrysilla.
into changing.
Into committing suicide.
That too.
So we'll just push him off the edge.
No.
Come on, everyone get
Nudge.
Wait, is Chrysilla a dude or a woman?
Male.
Everyone just make until he does it. What monster made that farm? What farm?
Oh, we're still learning? Oh, fuck, I don't want to do this.
Oh.
Don't worry, all you have to do is listen to Silver fail.
Excuse me, I'm best admin.
Okay, you guys' first task is to convince Chryslia to change that transfer node. We're gonna move him over to it. Okay? Bit by bit. Come on guys, you're not doing a very good convincing job here. I can't.
Oh.
So just realized
So,
why.
by the way, if a player can't replace like this, yeah, you guys can just be like, hey, well, do you mind if I give you the stuff to replace it? Because, you know, if they don't mind about having an illegitimate item to fix like lag, and most of the time people won't, then it's fine. So go ahead and ask.
Specifically?
Most people don't mind having an illegitimate child.
Yeah.
Which block are
I
you
mean, like,
talking
yeah,
about
I mean, like,
specifically?
we're happy to, like, and, you know, don't be, oh, because he can't make the, thing for filters
Oh.
properly. So just be like, what do you need to, like, to, replace it? And we'll happily, you know, like, don't give him the raw materials, just give him the, like, block that he needs, basically. So, like, what
In Awakening, we'd be really happy if you were to give out chest upgrades, because we can't actually craft those.
Yeah, you can. Oi!
No, we can't.
Henrik, you're in pain.
Oh, you can't? Oh, that's cool.
We can't craft iron chest upgrades. So all the chests that we've placed are just here.
Henrik, you appear to have died. How could that have happened?
I have no idea.
I bet it was a spooky ghost. Where the heck?
This is a spooky ghost.
Okay, there's an auto hammer here. That's 300.
Wait, what?
I know I'm at a different base.
Yeah.
Harianes.
I need that.
Excuse me, I'm actually doing admin work.
Oh, okay. Continue.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so, right, I'll do it then, since nobody else is.
I'm not actually paying attention at this point. Oh, rip this sand. Oops.
Rip everything. I've accidentally destroyed the entire world.
Well, not quite the entire world, but my entire inventory.
So how do we unchunk load things?
Open the chunk map and right click.
Yes, this sounds like a thing that is correct.
I'm literally correct.
Are you sure about that?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely positive.
Yep.
Meaning more to also keep the person's claim still there.
Generally, people.
Oh no, you
their
don't.
claims.
And honestly, at that point, they don't deserve rights.
So yes, you guys pass the test if you guys can get the server up to 20 TPS.
Shall we just...
Okay.
Well,
Oh,
if we
Someone photoshopped to turn it to 20 TPS.
that's what we should do, Rex. We should, like, just fire up an old ozone server and tell them to fix.
No.
So just
So,
There's a
Punk's-
difference between fixable lag and literally unfixable lag without deleting bases. Because that's the thing, like sometimes you'll get a server where you just can't fix anything without wiping bases. You just have too many bases with stuff running. Or, and this is a really common problem on some packs where you will have, you know, 20 active bases, and those 20 active bases have nothing laggy in them, but just because you have so many bases, the server just can't, you know, like keep at 20 TPS. And that's when you just kind of have to live with it, or you can do what we did in the Ozone days and just make more servers and move bases around.
I think we need to ban cloches.
Ban what?
What?
Cloches.
The cloches.
Cloches.
Oh, garden cloches?
Yeah, cloches, that's how it's pronounced.
Those are actually fairly laggy.
Yeah. So that's the Talenty Bell from Immersive Engineering. Do you see me
Oh.
used by type?
Yeah, those are really laggy, but you know, you just gotta live with it. You can be like, hey, you still using this? If not, can you like obliterate it, please? Thanks.
Can you throw it into the nearest puddle of actively hot lava?
Yeah, I've never actually used them. Are they that good?
They are really
Oh,
good.
yeah.
They're
They're
hella overpowered.
really good.
Because
and, you know, the
from
dev
last
doesn't
time I
care
saw
because
them, they tick like nuts because of the like growth updates
Yep.
that they do.
Oh no, they're
Isn't it like a mini imaginary time block basically?
kind of, yeah. Not quite as insane, but still pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. With the imaginary time block, I don't get why. Like on Ozone, we would have people who would have like one set of grass surrounded by like 8 imaginary time blocks
But they thought it worked that way. They were wrong.
because they thought that it like stacked. And I mean, like technically it does, but not really.
Yeah.
And I was just like, bruh,
Hi,
you know,
Silver.
you can use one imaginary time block on like it was like a 10 by 10 strip of land. I could fill like 7 emerald drawers, each with its own set of seeds, because we had multiple crops planted in the area in like 5 minutes, and then just turn it off.
Yeah.
So like that's another thing. If you see somebody who has like a system really bad and you're not going to change it that much,
Ban them.
by all means. By all means.
By all means, ban
you
them.
know,
No, slash ban,
stuff, change
exclamation
up how
point
they do
ban.
stuff. Like for example, if Chryslia wasn't on, and this system for transferring items wasn't so complicated, I would happily replace it myself. And that's the thing. Feel free to like, you know, if you see, oh, they're using a transfer node where they could be using like item ducts, generally can transfer just as fast as transfer nodes most of the time, and do so with like 1/10 of the lag. So, you know, don't hesitate about replacing stuff or rebuilding stuff. Just if you do, please put like, if it's significant, put it in admin fix log. So if they do kind of like freak out and be like, hey, what you do to my
I
fix?
was about to say, like, if you aren't gonna mention it, you should probably notify them that you've messed
Yeah.
up their crap.
Yeah, like, yeah, totally put a sign down as well. That's kind of meant to be a given, but like,
What mod adds the multi-line sign configuration?
I don't know, but I wish.
It's the most annoying thing.
Yeah, signs are cancer, but you got to put them down. Generally you can just leave a quick note and be like, hey, I rebuilt because it was laggy. See more info in admin fix logs. I'm pretty sure everyone can. See that
Nope.
shit. Yeah,
It's
everyone can
hidden,
see it.
I'm pretty sure.
No, everyone
Did you-
can see admin fix log,
Admin fix log, edit channel.
but it's inside of the admin.
Nope.
Someone's Patreon.
You, everyone
Yep.
can't read it.
Everyone can read admin.
No.
fix. Oh, well,
It's
that's meant to be around the other way.
I have a quick question.
Well, screw those people
Yeah,
then.
now everyone can see it.
I think honestly
Like
we
some-
should like move it up to like I need help rather than being down there.
Yeah.
I would think so as well.
Someone had a question.
So
That's up
yeah,
there.
I have a question.
Yep.
So basically, in order we would I can't speak English, but so from what I understand, to fix the TPS, we would do something like if it's something's over 100
Milliseconds.
what's it called? Milliseconds. There we go.
Microseconds. No, 100 milliseconds is real bad. Everything
Yeah,
microseconds.
over that, we just basically either replace it ourselves or